Welcome to this webinar. Good to see some familiar faces and some new ones. We'll start in a few minutes. We'll just give everyone the chance to join. Okay, let's get started. A very, very warm welcome here today in the middle of the summer. So thanks for being with us. The purpose of this call, this info session today is to introduce to you a call for funding that is currently open in the framework of the reinforcing project. So we will share the specific conditions and all the information about this open call. And there will be time for questions and answers as well, of course. My name is Maria Zolotanosa. I'm head of projects at Sticky Dot. We are a partner in the reinforcing project. We are an SME based in Brussels, specialized in co-creation and multi-stakeholder engagement. And we are the coordinators of this open call, which means we led the process of writing and shaping this open call. We are also in charge of running the evaluations, and we will be supporting also the grantees, the beneficiaries of this open call. Just before we start, I would like to get to know you a little bit better. So to understand a bit who is here today with us, who's in the room. So if you could locate the renaming function in Zoom, if you press on the three little dots next to your picture or name, you will see the rename function. And if you would like to rename yourself into your location, so where are you calling from today? You can be as generic or specific as you like. So let us know where are you from. Okay, we're just, for those who have just joined, if you could rename yourself into your location. So where are you calling from today? We have people from Italy, we have people from the Netherlands, Brussels, a few people from Brussels, Portugal. So yeah, a bit all over Europe, University of Luxembourg. Great, a good variety of participants. That's nice. And now if you would like to rename yourself into your current mood, how are you doing at the moment? Are you energized? Are you happy, a bit tired, waiting for holidays, or hungry? Let me know how you're feeling so that we know what we're dealing with here today. Okay. It seems that the majority of people are doing quite okay. Some are a bit desperate for holidays, some are tired, could be better, but we also have some happy and people who feel fine. So we'll try to keep it to the point and not keep you here very long. And now if you could rename yourself into a type of organization that you represent. So what kind of stakeholder group or type of organization are you? Are you a research institute? Are you a non-profit or a city administration? tell us which kind of organization are you from. Okay, we have some universities, I see. We have some non-profit, civil society type organizations, a couple of universities, a few SMEs. So again, a great mix of organizations, which is actually great also for the purpose of this open call. Okay, enough with playing. Please don't forget to rename yourself back to your name. You can also put your organization next to it or your pronouns, whatever you like us to use today. Just a quick reminder that this webinar is being recorded. It will also be uploaded on YouTube later on for other potential applicants to check. So I hope you're okay with that. If not, feel free to switch off your cameras. And I will pass on the floor to Angela Simone, the coordinator of the Reinforcing project, who will tell us a bit about the project itself.
Thank you very much, Maria. Good morning, all. Good morning to this webinar to present the third open call of the Reinforcing project. I will share a presentation, a short presentation, I promise, to introduce the main elements of our project and of course the rationale behind this open call and the open calls in general of Reinforcing, because we have 7 rounds of open calls, so a lot things to do. Before diving into the features of the open call, a short overview of the agenda of today. So we will start presenting the Reinforcing project, and then thanks to my colleague Maria, we will have a look at the specific requirements of this third Reinforcing open call. So what you are requested to provide in your proposals. Then I will provide you with some information about the mandatory duties for grantees, which are really needed to better shape the proposals to be granted, and some key days to have in mind in the next weeks. Then our colleague Marta Buccaro from Consortia Italbiotech, we will go through the submission process, so to really see how to submit your proposal and how the evaluation process has been shaped by the Reinforcing Consortium. So what are the key stages and how we will evaluate your proposal. Then we have quite a plenty of time for the discussion with you, for question and answers. So you can put on the chat in any moment your questions, your request for clarification, but we have allocated a slot at the end in order to collect all the questions coming up throughout the duration of the webinar, because we are quite a lot of participants. So in order not to get the webinar chaotic, we would like to discuss all together the question and try to answer to your question at the very end. Then we will have a short recap of the key dates at the conclusion of this info day. So I'm Angela Simone. I'm an expert in citizen engagement and stakeholder engagement in research and innovation processes and policies as well, with a lot of experience in European project dealing with open and responsible research and innovation. I proudly coordinate this project on behalf of Bassetti Foundation, which is a CSO, a small foundation based in Milan, acting internationally by promoting the practices and the principles of responsible innovation. Together with very experienced and front-running partners, experienced in open science and responsible innovation, we are coordinating, we are working in this project, which is quite a big project and also ambitious. We have 50 months to run our activities. We are approaching fast the midst of our project. And we are really ambitious because the general aim of reinforcing is to design and implement a central point, a central hub at European level for open and responsible research and innovation, which means a virtual platform in which all the organizations and institutions across Europe interested to embark on open and responsible research and innovation can find a place in which they can find resources, services, and all the things that are needed to implement a proper open and responsible research and innovation journey. For this, we are designing a so-called one-stop source platform, so a platform to collect all these resources that will be launched soon, integrated in our website. Our website is already available, and you can find all the information also related to our open call there, and also the submission of your proposal will be done through our website. And as I said, very soon, my colleague Marta will provide with more information on this. But apart from finding all the features and information related to the open calls, the platform, the reinforcing platform, host other activities, other services to support institutions and organizations interested in open and responsible research and innovation. So in ways, means, tools, and instruments to render research and innovation practices, as well research and innovation policies, more open and responsible. And of course, activities related to multi-stakeholder engagement connected to research and innovation processes and policies is a key feature of the open and responsible research and innovation approach. Even if reinforcing consortium is composed of experienced partners, we know that the ORI approach means a lot of nuances, a lot of different ways to implement the ORI approach. So for this, we think it's really important to be in contact and dialogue with the whole ORI community. So all the organizations and all the actors dealing with openness and responsibility in research and innovation across Europe, but also going beyond Europe. And so all our activities, all our services are co-designed together with the ORI community. We have key moments, workshops, and other activities to engage the whole ORI community and to co-design together with them all our action in our 50 months of activities of the reinforcing project. As I said, we are launching 7 open calls throughout the lifetime of reinforcing. The open call that we will present in a while, thanks to my colleague Maria, is the 3rd open call. We have already launched other 2 open calls. And in order to get our life more complex, we have 2 kinds of grants. So we have the so-called booster call and the incubators call. In this case, for the 3rd open call, we are talking about incubator open call, which is the larger, the richer grant that we have, which means that we will fund a project for the duration of 1 year, 12-month project, with a budget with a grant of 60,000 euros. So this is a short recap of the elements of the incubators open call. So we would like to support the newcomers of open responsible research and innovation, which means organizations and institutions that for the first time or in their first attempt to embark on open responsible research and innovation activities. So organizations which are not experiencing in this kind of activities, which were not involved in previous European funded projects dealing with open science and responsible research and innovation. And for this kind of projects to be funded, we think that 60,000 euro is a proper grant to support these beneficiaries in their activities for a 1-year project. Different duration are not eligible. It's really important to propose a project that will last 1 year, because we have fixed and set activities throughout the year of the project, collective activities in which the grantees will interact with the reinforcing consortium. So for these, all the project we will start all together, and we will end up the project all together, and then we will have key moments, key initiatives and events to be implemented during this year of the project. For this call, we will grant small consortia of at least 2 organizations, and this is mandatory. So we cannot provide grants for just one beneficiary, in this case of the Incubators open call. And in this case, we can have 2 different organizations in terms of experience on open responsible research and innovation. So you can have an organization which is a newcomer of open responsible research and innovation, and a further institution that we will support the other beneficiary, which will be the main beneficiary in terms of activities, but also in terms of budget, to run open responsible research and innovation actions. For this kind of open call, we will grant just 8 consortia. Sorry for the mistake. Of course, this is the general overview of the incubator open calls, but we have specific requirements for this 3rd open call. And so I will pass the floor to Maria to describe and share what are the specificities and specific elements of the 3rd open call.
Thank you, Angela. So this 3rd open call of the reinforcing project, as Angela mentioned, it's an incubator call. So it focuses really on newcomers in open and responsible research and innovation. At least the main beneficiary should be a newcomer. The second or partner in the consortium can be an experienced one, but the main idea is really to support newcomers. And the topic of this open call, or the main focus of this open call, is multi-stakeholder engagement in the context of the 5 European missions. So the engagement of citizens, but also other stakeholders who are active in the missions, who are contributing to the achievement of the missions, and who do not know how to do multi-stakeholder engagement activities within the context of the EU missions. So it's important to note that the consortia should be experienced in European missions, so should be active in European missions, but without experience of multi-stakeholder engagement or citizen engagement in the context of the missions specifically. So when we talk about the EU missions, we are referring to these 5 missions that Europe has set itself to achieve. When we talk about being active in the missions or contributing to the missions, we don't necessarily mean some kind of formal engagement of them in the missions. For example, there is a mission on smart cities. You do not need to be officially a city that is engaged in the mission. You do not have to necessarily be part of Horizon Europe projects that are focused on the missions, but you must demonstrate that your organization is contributing to one of the missions and is active in one of the missions. So it's not a formal requirement, but rather you need to demonstrate that you are doing something to fight cancer or to help our cities adapt to climate change or to become climate neutral. And of course, there's the oceans and the soil missions as well. In order to shape this open call, so to define the specific challenges that we want to see covered through grants, we held 2 workshops. One was an online workshop in the context of the European Bauhaus Festival. Different kinds of stakeholders joined it. There were quite a lot of researchers, but also civil society organizations and some city representatives as well. And another workshop we ran in person in Brussels with cities and regions that are active in the missions through the ERIN network. And we really used the occasion of these 2 workshops in order to collect feedback and see what are the challenges when it comes to multi-stakeholder engagement. What are the wish lists? What are organizations struggling with? What is important to fund? So in reinforcing, for us, it's really this bottom-up process is really important. We want to fund whatever the community needs and not just what we think is important. So in the first workshop, we asked people to highlight some challenges that they face when it comes to citizen engagement or stakeholder engagement in the context of the missions. Many spoke about the engagement of citizens, the engagement of hard-to-reach groups, and the engagement of citizens who are not the usual suspects. It was quite a rich process. We also looked at potential solutions to come up with activities that might be eligible for funding. And if you've read the call text, you probably saw that there are some examples. So some of them also came from this workshop. And in this second workshop that we held in Brussels, again, we looked at challenges and barriers to multi-stakeholder engagement. In this one, again, inclusion was one of the things, but another quite important aspect was this idea of identifying, mobilizing, and working with stakeholders when it comes to the missions. So we've analyzed all of these results after these 2 workshops, and that's how we shaped and wrote the open call. And we highlight 3 specific challenges that we think are important when it comes to multi-stakeholder engagement, and that we would like to support organizations in finding solutions towards those challenges. So the first one is lack of knowledge and experience in multi-stakeholder engagement. So if your organization has never done anything on this, or you're part of a big organization and you would like to spread this culture within your organization, to organize some kind of trainings or shadowings or exchanges of experiences, this can be a perfect fit with this kind of challenge. So here really we focus on just lack of expertise and lack of experience in this kind of process, or also lack of value. There are occasions when organizations do not simply see the value of wasting resources and time on these kinds of processes. So if this is your challenge, you are in the right place. The second challenge is on engaging and mobilizing stakeholders. So if you're struggling to identify who to work with in the context of the mission, if you're not sure why you should be working with these people, if you're not sure how to find these people and how to bring them together, if you're not sure how to put people with polarizing opinions potentially around the table and what to do with them, then this challenge is for you. So anything related to identifying, facilitating the process, so those processes, and engaging with different stakeholders is a good fit as well. And the third challenge that we have identified is related to inclusion and diversity in citizen engagement. So engaging citizens that are beyond the usual suspects, that are hard to engage. Maybe they're from marginalized communities. Maybe they are the ones who always come and attend your citizen engagement activities, but you would like to see other types of communities represented. So if you're not sure how to reach those people, or how to make them come to your activities, or how to make them interested, then you're welcome to use this grant for these kinds of processes. Of course, if you have other types of challenges, apart from these three, when it comes to multi-stakeholder engagement, you're welcome to use the grant for those and submit an application focusing on another kind of challenge. We've listed in the open call some examples of the kinds of activities that we think address those challenges and that we think might get funded. This list is for sure not an instruction, it's not an exhaustive list. It's really just to give you an idea of what kind of applications, what kind of activities we are looking to fund. So anything from training and capacity building to citizen consultations to co-designing new processes, knowledge, or services, to some kind of future scenario visioning workshops are welcome. Again, I would like to stress that if you have other ideas of how to address one of those challenges that is not listed here, it is very welcome. This is really just to help the applicants be a bit more concrete with regards to what kind of activities we are looking to fund. So it's by no means an instruction. Yeah, that was pretty much it. There will be, yes, we're of course recording this webinar, and we will have a bit of time for Q&A. So let me just stop sharing. But I hope that this presentation gave you a bit of an overview of what kind of challenges we are looking to fund and what kind of activities we're looking to fund. And this message that I mentioned in the beginning about not being experienced in multi-stakeholder engagement activities, but being experienced in EU missions is the one that I would like to highlight one more time. As I said, the main beneficiary shouldn't be experienced in multi-stakeholder engagement processes, but as we are welcoming Consortia, you can of course work with someone who has experience and who you would like to learn from. So that's it from my side. And I think it's Angela again, next.
Yes, sure. So again, some slides to support my presentation. A few words about the general idea of the open call of reinforcing. So we know that open and responsible research and innovation, open science, responsible research and innovation has been funded for a long time from the European Commission, by the European Commission in the previous years, especially in the previous framework program. So there are a wealth of good practices, initiatives in these, but we really need to mainstream this approach of open and responsible research and innovation. And for this reinforcing, we will provide this platform, but also these grants in order to address some gaps across Europe in terms of open and responsible research and innovation. So for this, each time, for each round of open call, we change our topic and we change the specificities of the topic because we think we need to support different sub-communities of open and responsible research and innovation. There are specific gaps to be addressed. In the case of this third open call, we thought that in the implementation of the European missions, there are gaps related to open science, responsible research and innovation, and in particular, when introducing multi-stakeholder engagement in conducting research and innovation processes in the realm of the missions, this is a clear gap. So a lot of institutions, a lot of organizations, we are contributing to the achievement of the 5 European missions are really struggling when try to implement multi-stakeholder engagement, which is a key feature of the 5 European missions. So for this, our grant was meant to support these institutions and these organizations that are struggling when introducing multi-stakeholder engagement in try to achieve the objectives of the 5 European missions, providing a grant that could be useful to find skills, competencies, support, services to help them to introduce and to implement and ground the multi-stakeholder engagement. So we have very specific target in mind, and so for this there are several requirements for this code. In terms of incubator duties, so apart from shaping as you prefer the proposals, you need to have in mind that as reinforcing grantees, you have some duties to comply with. And so at the end of the project, at the end of the year of the project, you need to deliver a tool, a so-called ORI tool, to be included in the reinforcing one-stop source, which means that you need to design an instrument in order that other actors interested in your activity, in your project, can replicate your experience. You are not interested in standalone exercises, but we would like to increase the ORI community, and we can do this if there is a sharing of the practices across the community. And we can do this if each grantee can share their experience and provide a proof of this experience to be put on our reinforcing platform in order to provide all the elements, all the information of the activities run throughout the course of the one-year project, so that other interested organization can be inspired, can replicate and adapt that experience. For this, for us, the production of the ORI tool at the end of the project is really, really important and also mandatory. We will have a collective kickoff meeting, an online kickoff meeting at the start of the project all together, in order to provide you with more information in the conduction of the activities, but also to start a sort of peer learning process that we will be conducted during the 1 year of the project. You will be you will have also a training activity, a training course in person in Brussels that will be held for 1.5 days at the beginning of the project, to familiarize with the open and responsible research and innovation principles, because of course multi-stakeholder engagement is a key features of the ORI approach, but there are many other things to be taken into account, and so the Reinforcing Consortium will take care of this training activity in person in Brussels at the start of your project, if you will be funded. You are also requested to attend an online midterm review meeting, and you will take part in a collective final webinar at the end of the project to share your results, your ORI tools, and to inspire other actors interested in open and responsible research and innovation. And of course, you will be also asked to contribute to the project online communication through photo, video, etc. And we will provide you with more information on this if you will be successful and you will receive the reinforcing grant. Of course, also as a reinforcing consortium, we have some duties. We will provide you with the training activities, and we will provide also a mentoring activity toward the end of the project in order to start designing a stable implementation of the ORI approach in the institutions that are involved in the granted project. And of course, we will provide you, we will give visibility to the project granted thanks to the reinforcing grants. A relevant point, since we have a lot of grantees, a lot of open calls, we cannot support all the grantees with a lot of activities, with a lot of services that you can, in any case, find on our platform. So we will be able to provide a live support along the course of the granted project. So in general, grantees are mainly autonomous in implementing their activities. So also in the design of your proposal, bear in mind that you cannot rely a lot on the support of the reinforcing consortium apart or beyond from what I have presented in terms of training, mentoring, etc. So you need to be autonomous in the grounding of your activities in the one-year project. So key dates, the deadline for the submission of the proposals is almost at the end of September, the 26th of September in the afternoon, Central Eastern Time. We are really strict on this also because we have an online mechanism. So just 1 minute after 5 in the afternoon, you will not be able to submit the proposal. The evaluation process will be run between October and November of this year, and we will go for the sub-grant agreement signature from November to the end of 2024. All the project will start all together at the very beginning of the new year. And we will have during January, of course, we need to find a suitable date, so I cannot tell you in this very moment which precise date will be, but in January we will have the kickoff meeting, the online kickoff meeting, and we will have the training between January and February for 1.5 days in Brussels. All the project will end at the end of 2025 all together. As I said before, these are mandatory dates, so you cannot propose different duration, different start or different ending of the project. Otherwise, you will be considered not eligible in the first phase of the evaluation process. So talking about the evaluation process, I suppose it's time to listen to Marta about this.
Yes, I'm about to share the screen. So, okay. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, hi everyone, I'm Marta Buccaro. I'm a project manager at Consortia Biotech, which is the partner in charge of the operational part of the cascading grant management in the reinforcing. So we deal with the all the evaluation, the management of the application and evaluation process, as well as the administrative part of the follow-up after the evaluation process. So we are also deal with the relation to with the grantees by managing also the communication emails. So now I'm going to present an overview of the application process and also the structure, the overall structure of the evaluation process. So as Angela has mentioned previously, the proposal have to be submitted using the reinforcing website by the 26th of September 2024 at 5 p.m. Brussels time. And the application have to be done by using the application form on the website, and they will consist of 3 parts mainly. The first part is the online form that has to be compiled that requires some general information of the project and has to be completed directly on the website by the applicants. And I also will show you later by doing like a test, application test with you, just to show you the main structure of the application form. The second part is the filling of the declaration of honor document. And this document has to be downloaded from the project website, is visible in the application form. It has to be compiled and signed by each project partner and uploaded in the application form in PDF format. And the third and last part is the technical proposal, which has to contain a description of the project and has to be done by using the mandatory template that is provided in the website, and specifically in the application form. This document, together with the declaration of honor, has to be downloaded from the website and then uploaded in PDF format. So regarding the structure, the main structure of the proposal template, the page limit for the proposal template has to be 10 pages without the section 1, because section 1 is about the general information that is already included in the online form of the application form online. The section 2 is about the administrative information regarding your project. So you have to list and include the data of the participating organization in your consortium. Whereas the sections 3, 4, and 5 are the proper technical part of the proposal. In fact, the section 3 is also known as excellence. And is about the objectives and the needs and the proposed approach to address them. Section 4 instead is about the impact, is also known as impact section, and you need to describe the changes that you aim to achieve with your project, and also stating the benefits for your organization, the territory, and society at large. And the final section, section 5, is also known as implementation, and is about mainly the work plan. So you should divide the work plan of your project into action, and for each of them you should include the objectives of each action, and also describe the different activities that you are going to carry out, and also include the expected milestones and results. Furthermore, you are invited to describe the representativity of your consortium, and finally the budget. So you should state the budget allocated for each partner of your consortium in a table like the one that is shown in the slide. So the timeline, Angela has already explained the timeline very, very well. So I will go through very briefly and will focus more in the evaluation process structure. So as Angela said, the evaluation process will occur right after the end of the call closure, so from October to November 2024, and it will be will consist on 3 main steps. The first stage deals with the eligibility and check for formal requirements. Is carried out by Consortia Italbiotech, as known as the contracting entity towards the future grantees. The second stage is the preliminary assessment, is normally carried out by the reinforcing consortium. And the final stage is the final evaluation and final ranking, which is performed by 3 external evaluators that are expert in the call topics and the call requirements. Just to deepen more into the evaluation process structure, the first stage, which is the eligibility check, will will check all the proposals that we will receive through the reinforcing website. And we as Consortia Biotech will check the compliance with some eligibility and general criteria that I will explain shortly. The eligible proposal will then pass to the preliminary assessment. So they will be subjected to the preliminary assessment carried out normally by the reinforcing coordinator, so from Fondazione Bassetti, and especially also the call manager. They will mainly evaluate the section 3 and section 4 of the technical template, so excellence and impact section, evaluating mainly the pertinence of the project with the call topic and requirement. Finally, the proposal that are considered good to pass the final evaluation will be evaluated in the final stage by 3 external evaluators that will consider all the 3 parts of the proposal, so excellence, impact, and implementation part, and they will finally rank all the proposals that underwent this final stage, and they will select finally a maximum of 8 proposals to be funded under this call. So, as I said, now I will briefly explain the criteria that will be considered for each stage. The eligibility check will consider the compliance for these following eligibility criteria and other general criteria. The eligibility criteria are the provenance of the applicants. In fact, the applicants must be established in a European country, which can be a member state or also associated country. And I have seen a question in the chat regarding the provenance of partners in the same consortium, and I can say yes, consortium can be also based in the same country, so there is no geographical limit in this sense. Furthermore, applicants must be legal entities, for example, CSO, NGO, higher education institution, research center, and SME. They also have to declare their financial stability. They are invited to, they must complete and sign the declaration of honors where they state also their financial stability. And finally, they should not have any potential conflict of interest with the reinforcing consortium and its partners. These are the other general criteria that are taken into account during the eligibility check. So the activities that are envisaged in the projects, they have to focus on the action described in the call conditions. So the action have to be aligned with the call topics and requirements. The application must be completed and be entirely written in English, and they also have to be submitted using the reinforcing website, using the mandatory template that is visible and downloadable on the project website. So we cannot accept applications sent by email. In addition, it's not possible to submit multiple applications under the same call. But applicants can apply for more than one reinforcing call as long as the funding amount received by the same organization is not more than 60,000 euros. And finally, applicants have to declare that the same project has not received funding under another call within the reinforcing initiative. Instead, these evaluation criteria are considered in the other stages, so the preliminary assessment and the final evaluation. So each of the 3 sections of the technical template will be evaluated using specific criteria. For example, the excellence part will be evaluated regarding the clarity and the pertinence of the project objectives and the pertinence of the objectives with the core requirements. The impact section will be evaluated for the expected changes that benefit the organization involved, the territory, and the society. And finally, the implementation part will be evaluated mainly for the quality and consistency of the actions, also budget-wise, in relation to the project objectives. So to summarize and clearly explain you which kind of documents will be considered in each specific evaluation stage, the eligibility check will use the criteria that are outlined in the online form in the section 2 of the template. So we will check the administrative information and the declaration of honor, whereas the preliminary and the final evaluation will consider just the section 3, 4, and 5 of the template. Specifically regarding the final evaluation stage, the proposal that will be subjected to this stage will be scored in each section with a score from 0 to 5. The average for each section has to be at least 3. And therefore, the minimum total evaluation score for each project to be ranking and then funded is 9. And of course, the maximum is 15. The proposal with the highest ranking will be then selected until the funding for the call is finished. And in case of executive proposal, an extra ranking criteria to be considered will be the diversity, equity, and inclusion. At the final stage, the 3 external evaluators will prepare an evaluation summary report just for the proposal that has been subjected to this stage. And the evaluation summary report will be provided to each applicant that passed this, underwent this final stage. The other proposal that not passed the eligibility check and the preliminary assessment were informed just by email, and they were not provided with the ESR. So here you can find some useful material for the current call. So the call text, the guidelines for applicants, which is also available in the application form, together with the other material useful directly for the application. The proposal template, the declaration of honor, the reinforcing privacy policy that you will need to accept before submitting your application. Then I will briefly explain you shortly. And the frequently asked question document, which is continuously updated. So now I will stop sharing and I will briefly show you the application okay. So here you can see the reinforcing project website. If you wanted to apply for the current call, you just need to go to in the menu to the voice open call. Here a window will be open and you have to click on the voice current call. In this web page, you can see all the details for the topic of the call, the details for the core requirements and the eligibility requirements. And if you want to apply, you have to go directly to this button and click on it. So here you can find the application form. So we will make a test briefly. So here you are invited to include the acronym of the proposal. So test, I don't know, full title of your project, the duration, which has to be 12. So the maximum and minimum length of your project should be 12 months. The contact email, in my case, is okay. The number of project partners, I don't know, country, for example, the country, and here you can find some ORI keywords which are they have to be flagged if they are related to your project topic. For example, I don't know, sustainability or open science. And here you are invited, but it's not mandatory, to include some free ORI keywords if your project topic is related to them. And also you are invited to include an extract of the challenges that your project will address, the changes that it aims to achieve, and an abstract of your project. Here there is the space that you dedicated to the upload of the field template and the declaration of honor. So here this, okay, so here we can upload. And here of course you can upload multiple files since each partners of the consortium has to complete and sign a separate declaration of honor. And finally, before submitting, you have to read and agree the reinforcing privacy policy regarding the handling of the personal data. And then you can click submit. And in a few minutes, I will probably receive an email of the confirmation of the submission. And yeah, and that's it. So this is basically my presentation. I hope that everything has been clear for everyone. Otherwise, you are more than invited to ask me questions.
So let's open the floor to questions and answers. We've been trying to answer some of them in the chat as we were going along, but feel free to just raise your hand if you have any further questions or if we haven't answered your question.
With regard to the recording of the info session, the recording will be available for everyone, not only for the participants today. So we will put the link on our website in the current call page, but also throughout our social media. So and on our YouTube channel, so you can access the recording in a few days.
Elma, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you also for this webinar, and I have to congratulate you for the management of the project. I've been working as a manager on many projects. This is very, very clear with lots of data and input. But I have a question regarding the two questions. I don't know if they were answered in the chat. I just followed the discussions. I will read the chat a little bit later. I'm interested in the whether hospitals, I work in the health sector, whether hospitals can be co-applicants, because they do data on and collection of research results related to cancer patients, etc. So I'm interested whether hospitals can be co-applicants or the main applicants for this call. And I also have another question in terms of the training you mentioned in the Brussels, whether all partners from the consortium will be obliged to attend or just one representative from the consortium. Thank you.
So I can reply for the institutions and organizations that can apply. So all the institutions and organizations that are eligible to apply for funding from the European Commission, so for any kind of EU calls, are also eligible for our grants. So hospitals, as long as you are eligible for EU calls, so you can definitely apply. So you need to bear in mind what is the focus of this open call. Of course, the context are the EU missions, and definitely cancer mission is one of the 5 selected topics by the European Commission. but we are a project dealing with open and responsible research and innovation. So we will not fund research and innovation activities as such. So we don't want to necessarily see at the end of this one-year project that it is quite a short time for a research and innovation process, of course, to see a research product, a research result, or an innovation result, because we are interested in the process of responsibility and openness of research and innovation activities or policies related to research and innovation connected to European missions. So if you are applying to implement, test, try to ground a multi-stakeholder engagement in research and innovation practices connected to the European mission. And so in your case as an hospital, you would like to engage patients to collect data or any kind of things and proofs and evidences that are useful to address the EU mission cancer. And we will use the reinforcing grant to support this kind of process of multi-stakeholder engagement and patient engagement for the research activities. Yes, the reinforcing project could be a grant, a feasible grant. Of course, you need to shape your proposal, but in principles, we can say that this could be the case. If you are think about a scientific activity, as I said, we don't fund research activity as such. We would like to see the open and responsible approach and specifically multi-stakeholder engagement for research and innovation processes in the context of the European missions. I don't know if the other colleagues would like to reply to the second questions.
Sorry, what was the
Thank
second
you.
question?
Thank you for your answer. I had a second question related to the trainings and attendance, whether all consortium members have to attend the training in Brussels or just one representative of the consortium.
I would say that at least one representative for the main beneficiary who has no or little experience in multi-stakeholder engagement should attend. So at least the main beneficiary should attend. I see also a question in the chat. Maybe Marta, you can cover that, whether gender equality plans are mandatory or desirable or recommended.
So each partner is invited. It's better to have a gender equality plan for each partner, but it's not mandatory to have it. But you should specify in the proposal template in the section 2 regarding the administrative information if you have it or not. And in case of exequo proposals, if you have a gender equality plan, this will be considered probably a preference in order to rank a proposal with the same score at final stage, I mean.
So as I wrote in the chat, a lot of questions that we have received also for the previous open calls have been collected in a document of frequently asked questions that you can find in the current call page at the very bottom. And there are a lot of questions about application and so doubts that potential grantees asked us in the previous round of open calls. But yeah, definitely you can also share your doubts here in the chat. In terms of gender activities, you will see that in the template you are required to complete this section. So you need to provide or you need to design and then implement activities related to gender equality, gender dimension, as well as open science. These are really relevant because are relevant elements of the open and responsible research and innovation approach, as Marta said before. In the ranking list, in case of ex aequo proposal, the solidity of the gender activities can count to have a better score and to get the grant at the end. So this is definitely a relevant section to be covered properly.
Let me just quickly cover the question from Ignacy in the chat, and then Angelica, we can get to you. So Ignacy is asking whether a partner with no experience in missions, but experienced in Horizon Europe projects and stakeholder engagement is encouraged to participate. So you have to be working in the context of one of the missions. So you have to be experienced, if I can say, in a mission. You have to be, your organization needs to be contributing to the achievement of one of the missions. That's the first one. Then if you have experience in multi-stakeholder engagement, you are welcome to be a consortium member, but not the main beneficiary of this call. If you're working in the context of the missions and you have experience in multi-stakeholder engagement, but you haven't necessarily done multi-stakeholder engagement in the context of the mission, you can try and apply, but it will have to be quite a strong justification of why you have experience in multi-stakeholder engagement, but why you're not managing to implement these processes in the context of the mission. Because really the main aim of this call is to support organizations who are not experienced in multi-stakeholder engagement, but they have to be working in the missions. I hope this is clear. Angelica, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for the meeting and for all the useful information. I represent the international network of youth NGOs. And just a clarification, because I believe I already understood from your previous answer, Angela was saying about scientific. My question on the chat was if the application has to have a scientific cut. But as far as I understood, you're not expecting something that is really scientific. You want to engage other stakeholders in being involved in research and innovation, but not necessarily from the scientific side. Is it correct? So the tool that we have to develop, for example, doesn't have to have a scientific tool, or yes?
We are looking for tools like guidelines, report, but also scientific tool, if you wish, or publication. So we are really open. It's not a mandatory thing. Of course, also the multi-stakeholder engagement needs to be robust from a social science, scientific point of view. But yeah, we are not saying that we really would like to see social science outcomes at the end of this one-year project. It depends on the shape of the proposal, but of course you need to implement a proper multi-stakeholder engagement, and a scientific publication could be one of the outcomes, but it is not mandatory for all the projects.
Thank you.
Lucian, go ahead.
Hi, yes, yeah, thank you so much. This is Lucien from the University of Greenwich. So my question is very brief. I was just wondering, to what extent could this also, or would you also welcome a project that is more pedagogical of nature? So still within the EU missions, but really aiming for producing a pedagogical tool that promotes multi-stakeholder engagement.
As long as dealing with European mission, and so trying to support the achievement of the objectives of the missions, and it is connected to multi-stakeholder engagement, and it is a new initiatives could be possible, or of course you need to justify why this pedagogical approach is contributing to the mission objectives. But yeah, in principle, there are no limit in these. This is not, I will say, looking at the challenges and examples that we have provided in terms of activities that we are that we said it is not an exhaustive list, and of course you can go beyond. Probably this is not our first thought about the activity, but in principle it's possible.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Lara, please go ahead.
I think I need to disconnect my camera because the internet will slow down. Sorry. It's me. I'm new to this and I have maybe a lot of questions that might be very obvious, but it's not for me. Sorry to ask. I have in mind a citizen science project that has been going on for a while in my head. And I wonder the funding, how can we use the funding in a case of a citizen science project? Like, can we buy equipment to provide the citizens to do the measurements? Can we use the funding to hire someone to manage the project? What are the overall use of the funding? And if it's a science center that dedicates to research in science on one of these topics, will they be the management? I'm not sure if it's clear, sorry.
Yeah, definitely. You can find in the template the categories for the budget. And so the categories of the kind of cost that you can cover thanks to the reinforcing grant. So you can use the budget for personal costs, so to cover the earning of the personnel, or also to hire in-house consultant. You can also use the budget for other cost categories, so equipment, renting rooms for meetings, all this kind of usual cost for projects, European funded projects related to open and responsible research and innovation, like citizen science, etc. Subcontracts are not covered by our grants. So this usual cost for responsible research and innovation, multi-stakeholder, citizen engagement, citizen science cost can be covered, but you can have a look at the template for the proposal, in which there is we suppose a clear explanation of the cost categories that could be taken into account for the preparation of the budget for these proposals.
Thank you. So if a research center will have support this idea that I have and could be then applying for this and then a collaboration. I mean, the main job is to research, but not obviously do citizen science. It will be like a side job for them to do this citizen science thing. But I would like to have their scientific support, because obviously they are the experts in the topic. So will that work?
Yes, sure. In principle, yes. As I said before, as long as they are eligible to apply for EU funding, in general, research institution, apart from exceptional cases, can apply for this kind of grant, and so also for our reinforcing grants. Of course, bear in mind that this open call is addressing institutions and organizations that are dealing with the 5 European missions. So these research centers that you would like to build this relationship for this collaboration for the proposal needs to be already involved in the context of one of the 5 missions. And they need to be newcomer of citizen science in the mission. So if all these pieces, all these elements fit to the call requirements. In principles, a consortium can be made of an institution providing experiences or skills on multi-stakeholder engagement through the citizen science methodology, for instance, and an institution which is a newcomer to multi-stakeholder engagement, but already enrolled formally or not, or informally in one of the 5 missions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just to answer to Catherine's question in the chat, it's not a formal requirement to be enrolled in a mission. So you don't necessarily have to be a partner in a project dealing with emissions. However, you need to demonstrate that your organization is active in the mission topic. So for instance, if you're a research institution working on a research project on, I don't know, smart cities, but you're not a partner in a Horizon project, or you're not officially involved in the mission, it works. So it's not it is a requirement, but there is no formal document or anything like that you need to show us that you are in a mission. You need to be active in the mission topic, and you need to be able to demonstrate that.
With some collaboration or relationship with the formal missions, institutions, boards, etc., in order that you can justify that your research activities or any kind of activities are contributing to the achievement of the mission's objectives, of course. So if you are dealing with some activities related to Green Deal in general, but you don't have any contact with one of the 3 missions more related to sustainability topic, of course, you cannot say that you are really related to the mission. So you need to justify what kind of link you have with the 5U mission. So in order to really specify that the results can contribute to the achievement of the 5 missions.
Livia, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello. I also have a specific question. To our case, we are doing startup accelerators. So we're working with startups mainly, not necessarily research or citizens directly. So I was wondering if, similar to Lucian's question earlier, if a project that focuses on working with companies, especially startups, and then I'm looking here at the innovation part, would be eligible again, that if it respects all the criteria that you mentioned that are described in the call as well. Just wondering if this specific case can be put in place for an application. Thank you.
If the activity that you would like to be funded through the Reinforcing Consortium is your usual activity, I would say that it is not the case. So we cannot fund your usual activities, because this means that you are an experienced actor in these multi-stakeholder engagement actions. And you need to take into account that we are talking about multi-stakeholder engagement, and we have specified that we would like to see especially citizens involved in this kind of activities. So you need to be a newcomer, and you need to be involved or connected to the 5 European missions. So of course, if we are talking about multi-stakeholder engagement, also companies are meant to be part of this multi-stakeholder approach, but we would like to see also citizens, and this needs to be a new activity, a new initiative, which means that you are struggling in doing these kind of things. And so you need a support from the Reinforcing Consortium through the grant to put in place this kind of activity. So usual activities, of course, cannot be supported thanks to Reinforcing.
Okay, thank you very much.
And the question from Sylvia in the chat, whether all consortium member needs to be active in the missions. or just the main beneficiary? I would say just the main beneficiary. So for example, if you would like to foresee a scenario where the main beneficiary is active in the missions, and you would like to engage another beneficiary as consortium member to support you in multi-stakeholder engagement processes, but they're not necessarily active in the missions, that's fine. And Mikhail?
Hello, everyone. My name is Mikhail Ilev. I'm representing Bulgarian municipality, and I have a brief question regarding the eligible costs. Well, we remember one of the missions, but we still haven't run any stakeholder engagement activities so far. But if we are rewarded in the 5 projects by the program, is it eligible cost civil contract? For example, if we need external expertise, civil contracts, is it eligible costs?
So personal costs are eligible, subcontract costs are not eligible. So it depends of the form and the shape of the contracts to hire people. And so it depends, sometimes it depends on the organizations, on the entities, and also on the kind of activities performed by the people engaging in this kind of contracts. So subcontracts, it means that you are, so the people involved in the activities are autonomously cover the activities with no coordination or supervision made by the main beneficiary, and this cannot be covered by the reinforcing grant. Instead, if you have a contract in which the institution provides supervision and coordinate all the activities, and you need new people to be hired specifically for the implementation of the actions, of course, this is a usual personal cost that can be eligible in this case. Of course, reinforcing cannot cover costs to run mission activities which are connected to other missions project, missions initiatives, because of course we cannot have double funding through reinforcing and another source of funding from the European Commission. So I don't know if I clarify your doubt about the eligible cost, or if Marta would like to complement what I have said 1 minute ago.
I think you have already explained perfectly. If Mihail has other questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's what I meant, not to subcontract activities, but to hire additional personnel for the implementation of, especially for the implementation of the project. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Any more questions or comments? We still have a few minutes. If not, yes, Lucian, go ahead.
Hi, sorry, hinder everyone for leaving early. Just I guess one last question that came to mind is, let's say if we were already a consortium for a previous project, but there was a remaining challenge, and through this project we might contribute to that challenge, and indeed with regard to multi-stakeholder engagement and the EU missions, would that be let's say, what would be more interesting? Would that be interesting, or would it be more interesting to have something completely new that doesn't build on previous projects? Or let's say both directions possible.
I will say both. It depends, of course, on the proposal. Of course, it makes sense to have a sort of follow-up and not to have seen a standalone exercise funded by public fund, for instance. And so if there is a chance to continue, it's good. But at the same time, we are looking for newcomers, so people and people behind institutions that are trying to implement for the first time multi-stakeholder engagement that for many reasons didn't have the opportunity to run multi-stakeholder engagement. They are struggling with this, and they see the opportunity and the value to run this kind of process, also to proper contribute to the achievement of the 5 EU missions. So in principles, yes, a follow-up is possible, but take into account that we are looking for newcomers in this. So as long as all the things can be connected and work, that's fine for us.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No more questions? Again, I invite you to check our current call page and the documents as well. Of course, you have also an email to contact us for any doubts that you might have in the next few days, reflecting upon this webinar, or also preparing the proposals. So we are available to reply to you soon if you have any other doubts in the next few days. If not, I suppose, Maria, we could wrap up the webinar.
Yes, thanks a lot for being here, and do get in touch by email if you have any further questions. We will upload the recording soon on YouTube, and we will have one other of those webinars as well at the beginning of September, but it will be exactly the same. So I'd say no need to attend if you were already here. It will be on the 2nd of September. And yes, we look forward to receiving your applications. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being here today. Looking forward to your proposals.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.